So the other day I heard Gary Vee say you should always trust your intuition. And if you don't know who Gary is, that's okay. He's just a guy with like a million followers. Usually everything Gary says is a raw truth that people don't want to hear. However, this time it fell into the trap of black and white thinking. And over the past few years, I've had a lot of people ask me the same question. Should I trust my gut? Should I always follow my intuition? My answer is always the same. So I'm going to give it to you now. Hi, my name is Chris Hinton, and my aim is to help eliminate needless suffering through awareness. So please listen with your ears, not your triggers. So here's what I've seen through life, study, and real work with people. Your gut feeling is just that, a feeling. And you know what else is a feeling? Insecurity, abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of success, feeling unworthy, the fear of leaving what's familiar, even when the familiar is the thing that's hurting you. So if you carry these old wounds inside and you haven't faced them, your intuition will whisper to you in a voice that sounds wise, but it's really just your old pain trying to keep you safe. Imagine you're standing at a fork in the road. Two paths stretch out in front of you. One is paved with peace and stillness. The other is paved with chaos and anxiety. Both paths are whispering to you. Both paths feel like intuition. The real question is, which one are you listening to? And that's why we always come back to one fundamental truth: who's talking? Which little villager inside your emotional village is handing you this so-called intuition? The one rooted in chaos and fear, or the one rooted in peace and wisdom? You go to ask for a raise, your intuition says, no, now not the right time. Is that real wisdom? Or is it fear of rejection dressing itself up as logic? You want to ask someone out, take a risk, step towards connection. Your intuition says, maybe later. Now's not a good time. Is that really intuition, or is that fear of failure? Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. You meet someone that feels safe, feels kind, but your intuition says, don't trust it. It's too good to be true. Is that real intuition, or is that your abandonment wound pulling the strings? You step into a relationship that feels peaceful. It feels easy. It feels real, but suddenly your intuition says something's wrong. It shouldn't be this easy. Is that intuition, or is that fear of success? Fear that you might finally have what you wanted and not know how to hold it. In my coaching, I don't just point out blind spots, I give you tools. So tune in next week when I reveal how to work through this problem the next time you butt up against it. No, I'm not gonna do that to you. You're gonna get the tool right now. So here's what you do. When your intuition speaks, stop and ask, who's talking? Which part of you is speaking? Fear, wound, or wisdom? The second thing I want you to ask yourself is this: is this useful? Because sometimes things are true, but they're not useful. Your fear might be real, your doubts might be real, your wounds might be real, but the question is it useful? Because here's the thing, both paths are true. Your fear of failure is real. Your fear of rejection is real. Your feeling of unworthiness is real. It's all true. But the real question is it useful to the person you're trying to become? Fear of rejection may be true, but is it useful if it stops you from asking for the raise you deserve? Fear of abandonment may be true, but is it useful if it stops you from letting yourself become loved? Feeling unworthy might be true, but is it useful if it keeps you from taking your shot? In my world, I don't just serve what's true, I serve what's useful. Because staying loyal to the truth of your wounds will keep you stuck forever. Choosing usefulness, that's how you change your life. So if this hit home for you and you're ready to start leading your own little emotional village, grab a copy of my book, Who's Talking, available on Amazon. All the proceeds go to the Shriners Children's Hospital, an organization that once saved my life as a child. Or if you're ready for deeper personal work, reach out for one-on-one coaching. You're closer to peace than you think. You just need a little help finding your way back to who you were before you told yourself who you had to be. And if this stirred something inside you, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear what your intuition has been telling you. And before I close this out, I already know someone's gonna say in the comment, well, I trusted my intuition one time and I found out that my partner was cheating. And it turned out to be true. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying don't listen to your intuition. I'm saying don't let your intuition guide you without you questioning it. Because even if it turned out to be accurate, It wasn't accurate because your intuition made it true. It's accurate because the reality of that situation just so happened to match the pattern that your intuition picked up on. And I'm sure if you're honest, there's been countless times where you thought your intuition was right and it turned out that it wasn't. And I can already hear people now saying, nope, my intuition's always right. To that I would say, who's talking? Is that thinking useful? Because I'll tell you right now, you do not possess magical powers that give you access to the future. Your intuition is reading patterns. It is scanning for what looked like, felt like, or sounded like things from your past. But they're not always true. And that's why you have to question them, always. There you go. So drop your comment on what your intuition's telling you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.